What's going on, guys? Ben from JK Gear and Gadgets, and in this video we're going to talk about a couple mods that you should not skimp on. Whether it's a mod or an upgrade or anything in general that you really should not skip on, and try to get the best deal on parts for your Jeep. Reason I'm doing this video is because lately a lot of my videos have been small product installs, and somebody mentioned Ben, hey, I really do like the fact that your channel has knowledge and you share this information with other Jeepers. So I'm trying to get back to that, make some informative videos that are still entertaining, something that's gonna help all you guys that are watching this. So no product installs in this video, nothing new, but I'm gonna talk to you guys about some of the stuff that I'd say spend the extra money, save up a little bit longer, because in the end it's worth it, and it's gonna benefit you more in the long run. So let's go talk about number one. All right, so my first thing is gonna be winches. Don't skimp on the winch. There's a lot of different brands out there. Personally, I'm a fan of Warn winches. I'm running the Warn Xeon 10S. As you can tell, nice beefy winch. I've had zero issues with it, and I prefer the synthetic line. But the reason I say don't skip on winches is because there's a lot of brands out there that offer a great warranty, and like a no questions asked warranty. But what I always tell people is that a warranty will not help you get unstuck on the trail. So I'm not a fan of, I'm not gonna start naming out a bunch of brands, but like the Harbor Freight winches, Badland series, Smittybilt's okay, but a lot of those have solenoid issues. And yes, they do warranty them, no questions asked, but if you're stuck in the middle of a trail somewhere late at night, a warranty's not gonna help you at all. So if you are saving up for a winch, save up a little bit longer, I'd recommend a Warn or a Super Winch, also another great brand. So winch, definitely a product that you're gonna wanna save up and spend that little bit of extra money on. And if you have the choice, I would go with synthetic opposed to a steel rope. Next up, armor. And what I'm talking about when I'm saying armor, I'm talking about rear bumpers, diff covers, rock sliders, front bumpers, all that stuff. People, when they first get a Jeep, they love to upgrade their bumpers, and there's a reason for that. It's because it's cool. You need a bumper to mount a winch. The stock bumpers are plastic, they suck. So most people, first Jeep owners, are gonna head to Amazon or eBay and look for the best deal on the bumper they can find. So next thing you know, they found a bumper, oh, it looks pretty cool, you can mount a winch on it, has little pod lights, mounting brackets, and cool, it's only $200. It looks the same as these American-made bumpers, but they're not. In most of the cases, the steel is a lot thinner, and just the quality, the welds aren't, it's not, the quality is not the same as a nice American-made bumper. So honestly, there's a lot of brands out there when it comes to armor. I'd stick with something made in the USA. The quality is gonna be there. Most of the time, the tubing, the steel is a lot thicker. It's DOM tubing, 1/4 inch or 3/16 inch steel, and it's gonna be beefier. Think about why you are upgrading your bumpers and your armor. Added protection and added reliability. So don't skimp, go with a nice USA brand bumper. There's a lot of them out there. I'm running the Barnes 4-wheel drive bumper. My front one is the Motobilt. There's a full list. Poison Spider, Motobilt, Genrite. I could keep going on. VKS, Crawler Concepts, all those guys. Great armor. Just don't skimp on the armor. Get something that's gonna withstand abuse, any accidents just in case, and offer that great protection on the trail. So armor, definitely a big one. Tires. This guy, you should already know by now, even if it's not a Jeep, even if it's just a normal car, tires are an important part of the vehicle, and you don't want to skip on quality when it comes to tires. As for wheels, I wouldn't say that's near as important. There's a ton of different brands for wheels, and it more comes down to what you want to do with your Jeep. People hate on the big rock stars or fuel wheels. There's nothing wrong with those, but if you do plan on hitting some hard trails, big rocks, those might not be the best. But that's almost a different type of talk. What I'm talking about here is tires, and what I mean by that is there's all, if you go on Amazon, you've seen a lot of different brands like Katani. I don't know. There's quite a few. They offer them in 35s or 37s, and the price looks appealing, but by the time you get them, you'll start noticing that they're gonna wear funny. They won't balance right. So right off the bat, you'll probably get some weird shimmy. If you don't get it right at first, the shimmy will come later. You have to keep balancing them. The wear is gonna be uneven. And another big thing I would stay away from, don't even waste your money with, is the retread tires. You know, tread right. There's a lot of reviews online about those that are good, but I've seen numerous cases where the tread either flies off or the bands inside break. I would just wait, save up your money for a nice set of tires. And once again, that's definitely a personal opinion. I personally like the Yokohamas. I've had a great experience with their new Geolandar series. These are the XMTs on, before I went to the 40s, I had their just the Geolandar G003s, a little less aggressive mud terrain, and those worked really well. They wore extremely great, and they were pretty quiet. So definitely don't skimp on the tires, guys. Do your research, see what's best for you. And remember, you don't always have to go to the biggest size that you can buy. Even though there's only a $20 difference between a 35 and a 37, there's a lot of other upgrades that are gonna come with that. Suspension. Everybody's favorite thing to do after they buy a Jeep is lift it. Don't think of a lift kit as something that's just gonna raise your Jeep up. Think of it as a new suspension. I'd love to say that I have one, you know, full kit here on my Jeep, but it's actually a mix-up of a lot of parts. Metal cloak springs, Bilstein shocks, rock crawler sway bar disconnects. Let's see, Rubicon Express control arms, which, by the way, I don't like those. I've talked about those in the past, and the reason I got those, I was up in Alaska and that was the only thing that could ship to me. Metal cloak drop brackets, blah, blah, blah. I'm not gonna sit here and talk about my Jeep. What I'm gonna tell you is that I would recommend saving up. Once again, you see the reoccurring theme here is to save up and get a good suspension, something that's going to come with some nice dual rate springs, nice shocks, a full set of control arms, adjustable preferably, so you can really dial in your alignment, and just something that has good reviews. I would skip the rough country, skip the super lift, skip those brands, save up a couple extra $100 and get a good suspension. My current suspension, I think personally rides better than the factory suspension. So don't waste your money or your time going with a cheap lift kit that's really gonna be replaced with new components in a year or two. So, I mean, plus, you know, you gotta think the suspension is one of the key handling factors on a Jeep. Don't downgrade your Jeep, guys. Get a good suspension lift, save up the money. You will appreciate it in the long run. All right, so the last one, this one's one of my favorite ones, is because a lot of people don't talk about this. You know, online, on the forums, you know, on social media, all that stuff. I'm talking about replacement parts, spark plugs, starter, wheel bearings, you know, all those, the normal failure items, you know, alternator, all that stuff. This doesn't usually get that much of a topic because when people replace these parts, they either go to the auto parts store or they go online and just buy whatever they can get. You know, you've probably looked around before online, you know, shopping for replacements, no matter what it is, and you've seen that there's different prices. There's one that might be $20 cheaper, or there's one that's super expensive. I wouldn't always say go with the most expensive one, but I would definitely say spend a little more and get a good quality part. You know, hopefully get one that has a warranty if it's optional, just because whenever you're replacing, you know, non-aftermarket stuff on your Jeep, you want to replace it with a good part, something that's going to last long, something that's going to be safe, and something that you're not going to have to, you know, replace in a week or two. You know, I've done that in the past. My very first Jeep ever was a Cherokee in 1993, and I was in high school. You know, I think the water pump went bad, and I bought some cheap water pump on eBay. It was like $8. I was like, okay, this is gonna fix my problem. And what do you know, a month later, water pump went bad again, and I had to go to AutoZone and buy a $30 water pump. So stuff like that. Save your money, make life easier, and just buy it right the first time. So there's a lot of other stuff on the Jeep that I would love to say, oh, you know, spend the money, you're gonna love it. But whenever you start building a Jeep, there's gonna be trade-offs, unless you're just made of complete money. Some stuff I would recommend saving up and doing good. And there's other things where I'd say, yeah, you know, that's not really functional, you know, save some money there and put it in somewhere else. So in my opinion, these are some of the things that I would say save up, and don't skimp on. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you have anything you'd like to add to this list or any other, previous experiences you've had, let me know in the comments. Everybody would learn something. So that's it. I'm gonna stop talking. I'm really rambling on. But me and Cassie and the family are going camping / off-roading tomorrow. So I'm gonna get the Jeep ready for that. And hopefully Cassie will put up a fun video of this weekend. This will be the first time we're taking the kids camping. It's gonna be like 38 degrees as a low. And they're like 2. So this will be fun to see how they do. And definitely get a family experience. The trails aren't gonna be hard. It's a pretty easy trail. But thanks for watching, guys. Like always, give the video a thumbs up. Share it with your buddy that just bought a Jeep and needs to know some ways to make sure he could build a good, reliable Jeep, guys. Thanks for watching. Subscribe and keep on Jeeping on.